الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. أي نعم. After the rightly guided caliphs were the caliphs generally corrupt written by Islam Sieve. This is common claim found in the history books of the Orientalists such as Sir William Muir, who wrote many books on the story of the Caliphate, and Sir Hamilton Gibb, who is famous for translating Ibn Battu's travel books. These books are on the reading list of most Arabic degrees at Western institutions such as SOAS, where Gibb did his MA in Arabic in 1922. Abdul Wahab El-Afendi, in his book Who Needs an Islamic State, summarizes Islamic political history, saying, when the dust settled over the momentous struggles unleashed by the Mahd of Uthman in 36/656, the Muslims found themselves under the despotic regime of Muawiyah. The Muawiyah state was not recognized as legitimate by most Muslims, but only tolerated. It faced numerous revolts until it finally collapsed following the triumph of the Abbasid revolution in 192/750. The Abbasids soon fell short of the expectations of Muslim idealists who fought the Umayyads in the hope that their fall would herald the return of the righteous Caliphate. Shia and Khawarij revolutionaries therefore continued to challenge the Abbasid state. There are 4 points in refutation of this claim. 1. History must be taken from the unbiased sources. In the book Nizam al-Islam by Sheikh Taqi al-Nabhani, it states that history must not be taken from the enemies of Islam who harbor hatred towards it. Instead, history must be taken from Muslims themselves after an intensive research so as not to adopt a distorted image. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu an tusibu qawman bijahalatin fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin. You who have iman, if a deviator brings you a report, scrutinize it carefully in case you attack a people in ignorance and so come greatly regret when you have done. Al-Hujurat 6. Number 2. A common issue when studying stories to judge an entire era or stated by specific events such as a bad ruler. We see this today when a Muslim commits an error and all Muslims face collective blame. In Nizamul Islam, it is stated that the generalization in the study of the society should not be taken from the history of individuals or from one aspect of the society. For example, it will be wrong to pass judgment on the history of Umayyad era by studying the story of Yazid's era, or to pass judgment on the history of the Abbasid era from some incidents of the caliphs. An example of this is Abdul Wahab El-Afendi, who in his book Who Needs an Islamic State quotes a statement from Abdul Malik bin Marwan, the Umayyad Caliph, who told a Meccan congregation at the start of his rule that anyone who after today says to me, be conscious of Allah, I will have him beheaded, as evidence of corrupt rulers who didn't accept accountability. However, Ibn Khaldun states, Abdul Malik bin Marwan is one of the greatest Arab and Muslim caliphs. He followed in the footsteps of Umar ibn Khattab, the Amir of the believers, in regulating state affairs. We have two contradictory views on Abdul Malik bin Marwan, so who is right? Firstly, context is extremely important when viewing a historical event. After Yazid died, Abdullah bin Zubair became the caliph based in Makkah. However, he didn't have bay'ah from all areas of the state. The Umayyads still claimed they were the caliphs. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib refused to give bay'ah to either Abdullah bin Zubair or Abdul Malik, saying, not until people are united. He was given 50 lashes by the Wali of Medina for this. Eventually, Abdullah bin Zubair was defeated by Abdul Malik through his commander Hajjaj bin Yusuf. Those who gave bay'ah to Abdullah bin Zubair who see this as Abdul Malik usurping the caliphate, whereas Abdul Malik saw it as a dealing with people who he saw as rebels and transgressors. Secondly, in Nizamul Islam, it states that history has three sources: history books, archaeological objects, and narration. History books such as those of the Orientalists are not trustworthy unless corroborated by other sources, as they contain bias. An example are history books on the Bosnian War, which make sweeping statements that Muslims were forcibly converted by the Ottomans. History books based on narration, however, are acceptable. So Tabari, Ibn Khatir, Ibn Khaldun, Ibn Hadir. Suyut and Muhammad as-Salabi are all okay. That is the last source of history is archaeological objects, Nizam al-Islam said. Archaeological objects, excavation, and antiquities will provide historical facts if studied honestly. Although they by themselves do not provide a historical timeline, they however donate occurrence of some events. If one examines the Islamic antiquities found in their countries, be they buildings, instruments, or any other thing, one can conclude that nothing was present in the Islamic world except Islam. The system of Islam and rules of Islam. Additionally, the Muslims' way of life and actions conducted were Islamic. If we look at the archaeological object of Abdul Malik's role, what do we see? He built the dome of the rock Masjid al-Quds, which shows his love for Islam and the Prophet ﷺ. He was the first to mint gold dinars, which meant he implemented the economic system of Islam. The coins didn't have his head on them like the Roman coins or in a monarchy like Britain, but had the kalima, declaration of Islamic faith. He conquered much of North Africa, and we know that North Africa this day is Muslim and contains mosques from beginning of its conquest. The Abdul Malik implemented Islam both internally and externally. Number 3, it is important to bear in mind that bad news is reported and good news isn't. This is true in the media today and also true in history. People generally remain silent when things are good, as there is no munkar to forbid, and this can give a distorted view. Number 54. The Caliphate is not utopia, and Islam came for human beings and not angels. We study the event of the past in order to learn from those mistakes and prevent their recurrence in the future. وَيَتَقَوْ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قَالُوا تَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَن يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ وَنُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. When your Lord said to the angels, I am putting a Khalifa on the earth, they said, why put on it one who will cause corruption on it and shed blood? When we will glorify you with praise and proclaim your purity? He said, I know what you do not know. Al-Baqarah